Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. In today's video, I have planty updates. So less doing and more talking, I suppose, and showing. I will show you what I'm talking about. We'll start with this one since it's right here on the desk. I was eyeballing it actually because I think it needs to be repotted. This is the variegated frydek, and I just repotted it in here a couple months ago. I'm gonna say maybe 2 months, 3 months at most. Something like that. And it was doing pretty good, but now it's looking kind of sad. That's the newest leaf right there. And it's looking a little pale. And I really haven't changed where this plant lives or how I'm caring for this plant. Every leaf you see here was grown since it's been in here. And they're just now starting to look a little sad. And I'm going to say it's because it needs to be repotted again. It's got two little corms here that have spit out leaves to the back there, and they're lovely, but does it have roots in the reservoir? No roots are sticking out, but I really think it could use a repot. That and this particular net pot is not much net. Some of the slits in it aren't even all the way through, but it's just drying very quickly, and I assume it needs a repot because of that. It could use more room for resources. I'm not sure. If you have a different theory on what's going on with that, feel free to let me know, because I mean that looks very pale compared to, you know, the previous leaf, what we were getting. It's very droopy. All the time. I don't know. The little babies seem to be doing okay. Yeah, they both look okay. I don't know. I guess I'll separate those out. So I'll probably up pot the larger one and then separate the smaller ones off of it and probably put them right back in the same pot that they're in. I don't know. Something similar going on with my Alocasia, the larger frydek that I have, the non-variegated one. But I'm pretty sure that was light related because it seems to have improved since I moved it. Now, I had it back here on this thing when it was much shorter. Then it got too tall for that spot, so I put it over here on the floor. And I didn't like it on the floor because the cat will get in there. So I put it up next to my Bob C under that light. But that light is so intense that it will sun stress Hoya from 3 feet away. So I moved it over here now, and the Sansi quad light is over it. I'll show you. Okay, so that's where the Sansi light has ended up, is like clipped to this shelf up here. I know it's so dark. Don't look at my plants up there. They're sad. This is what I'm talking about on this Alocasia, which is kind of new. I don't see any pesties on it. All I can assume it was light related. That's the new leaf coming in. It looks okay, I guess. I don't know, time will tell. But yeah, it's got 2 friends in there with it currently. One is also putting out a new leaf back there. So, I mean, it seems to be doing all right. But yeah, this really kind of freaked me out, and that's why I've moved it again. It's this discoloration. I don't know. It's still very pretty. Very pretty. Still one of my favorites. I'm very proud of this plant, even with its weird stripiness. Quick mention, I love this guy too. Look how black. So pretty. So pretty. But yeah, so I don't know exactly 100% for sure what was causing that coloration or discoloration on the leaf. The leaves, actually 2 of them kind of have it, maybe 3. But I'm going to assume it was too much light up there. So I don't know how it's going to do under this Sansi light, but it's putting out a new leaf now, so I guess we'll see in a few days what that looks like. But yeah. So repotting. I'm putting off repotting that because I don't know where I'm going to get a larger pot than that. I really haven't checked out the Amazons to see what they have available that's larger. So, I mean, I guess if all else fails, I'll figure something out. I'll make something up. I feel like I should put this back before the cat comes along and knocks it on the floor, and then I don't have to worry about repotting it. The next plant right here, I don't love this plant. It's Hoya Bella, just the regular one. And I've had the inner variegated, the outer variegated, and this one. And I've had the regular green one, which this is, a couple of times. And I thought, I can do it now. I can't, like, this is awful looking. Can you see how awful this is? It's kind of shrivelly. It doesn't grow very well. I've got leaves yellowing. It seems to have spider mites or some sort of mite all the time. I'm not having a great time. Now, it is in a little teeny pot. It really is. But it's oh no, it's not. I was going to say it's watered. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know, but yeah, it's watered. It's just, it doesn't feel great. That soil feels like a half-dry sponge. Like the texture and consistency of a half-dry sponge. I don't know. I will repot it, but, and it has grown actually quite a bit since I got it. I think it was like, you know, 1 or 2 little vines going doop out of there like bunny ears. It has grown, but I'm just not, I feel like this plant could do so much better if it was with anybody but me. Not into it. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't look, you can see a yellow leaf there, it just doesn't look happy. It's not great. Like I said, I'll repot it, I'll keep trying with it, but if it dies, I'm so done with Hoya Bella. So done. I think this is one of the ones that came with free mealybugs. Was that a mealybug? No, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really dug around in the roots. I mean, I've pulled them out of the pot just now. I don't know what's going on with it. I really don't know. I'll repot it and I'll keep trying, but the update on this plant is I still can't get them to thrive. Hoya Bella, I don't know. Small leaves, I'm telling you, small leaves, small pot, dry quick. It's not good for me. This here is the Hoya Icensis, I believe is which one that is. And it has been sitting here like this in this pond with some anthracite coal for probably 2 years. I don't think it's done anything. And I'm going to guess the reason why is actually not root mealies for once, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be flat mites. I'm pretty sure, because I'm looking at some damage on the leaf here. You can see some starts and stops there where it's tried to grow, and then the damage on the leaf. I guarantee you if I look down in there, there are some little mites just burrowing away. Just burrowing away. Little red mites. And there. I have this plant. I have it growing and doing fine, like a different cutting of this. And that one's fine, no weird damage. I think I'm going to pitch this. I don't see the point in fighting with this one when I already have this plant growing fine. This one here, I would normally go wash my hands, but it's the same. It's the same. This was a cutting of the Hoya Natalie, I'm not sure which way you pronounce that, but once again on the back it just looks like a cork. It's been so damaged by something. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, that, and then on the base of the leaf where the leaf meets the petiole there. And also the fact that it has not grown. This one doesn't even look like it's tried. I don't see any root mealy evidence. I actually see a root hanging out of there. So the roots are doing root things, but the top of the plant is doing nothing for an extended period. And once again, I have this plant, and it's growing somewhere. I'm not sure where. But so I'm not fighting it. I'm, you know, getting rid of it. I feel kind of bad because I did try. That's why these were separated out in the first place. These ones, the only difference I can think of is both of those went outside in the greenhouse. I had treated them the same as I was treating these for, you know, everything. I think I treated them with, I kind of went back and forth. I'd do Captain Jack's one time, then the next time I'd use like neem. Then after that I'd use, you know, a DIY alcohol water soap. I think I even went just straight alcohol for a while in my frustration. And I treated those the same way, but I put them outside. That is the only difference. Those grew, those look good, no weird damage. These did not. These did not. And like I said, I'm fairly certain that I just have not been able to get rid of flat mites on them, despite treating and treating and treating and treating. And I'm just not trying anymore. So, long story short, the update, I guess, is that it's been a losing battle, and these plants will no longer be with us after today. It's sad, but, you know. Moving on, before I decide to try to keep them. Let me go wash my hands and wipe this down real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, what a pity. Okay, next, I think this is called Begonia listata. And I'm not going to say, I haven't had it long. How long have I had it? A month? Maybe? And it's only grown 3 or 4 leaves. I think it was a 3-leaf cutting, so I guess it's grown 4 leaves. It's trying to flower. Can you see the little doop under there? The little white bit. Which I guess maybe that is the flower. It's pretty unimpressive if that's the case. I don't know. But it's cute. It's not breaking any speed records or anything, but I really, really like this begonia. It's that bright green. It really is. That, and it's dark and fuzzy, and it's got the red undersides. And if you kind of look across the leaf at the fuzz, it's like red as well. It's very interesting. Let me see if I can get it close enough for you to see the fuzz, the color of the fuzz. I don't know if you can see it, but man, she's pretty. She's real pretty. Humble opinion. So I was growing it in the cabinet, I think, first go off, and I didn't really think it needed that, but I'm looking at the leaves now since I've taken it out, particularly the new leaves, and they're sort of curling. They are sort of curling. So they look dry and thirsty, even though the plant is watered. It is, I mean, definitely hydrated. Oh, I can see where some... It's been kind of trying to flower the whole time I've had it here. I don't know, I might stick it back in the cabinet, because I can see a crispy tip here. One of the older leaves is kind of curling in pretty significantly. I think the first or maybe second one it put out since it's been here. It looks like the second. I don't know. I'm not sure. Does anybody else grow Begonia listata to tell me? Is this a cabinet babe? I don't know. Or should it be a cabinet babe, rather? I'm not sure. Right now it's just kind of sitting here. And then this is Anthurium Bob, or, you know, whatever. For anybody who saw my Anthurium chat yesterday, it's Anthurium clarinervium by pterodactyl by magnificum, somehow. In which order, I don't know. That's just how it was labeled, so I kept it that way. This was a rehab. It held on to it. I cut the rest of them off. This was one of the janky leaves it kind of had when I was still trying to grow it in soil. And, you know, that's not the worst, but it was growing so slow. And it occurred to me that it probably wanted a lot more moisture than I was giving it. It feels very dry now. It's in self-watering. Then I put it in pawn. I had it in pawn, I had it out of pawn. I got this plant for free. It was a rehab when I got it. So it's been back and forth in different substrates, and it's definitely one that seems to appreciate pawn. Long story short. And it put out this leaf, and I was waiting forever for it to harden off to take it out of, like, you know, the Costa Farm self-watering planter. That's what I had stuck it in. And it was still very dry for some reason. Like, I had to top water that pawn all the time. And I don't mind doing that, you know, if I'm just filling it up, I do that. But it would be bone dry somehow all the time. I don't know. But, so I've got it in here, and it seems to appreciate this. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. I really like this one. No new moves yet on the growth there, which I don't really expect any. I just did disrupt it. I don't see any new root growth yet, do I? No, I don't think so. I don't know, actually maybe some. It looks like it's grown to the side of the container in there. Maybe you can see it. I see some healthy green roots over here on this side. So I guess I haven't really made it too terribly angry. But I've had this plant have a bigger leaf than this, I think, once, while it was in soil. But I put it out in the greenhouse and it hated that. It actually had some leaves left that looked worse than this, but I'd cut them off because they weren't doing anything for the plant anymore at that stage. So I don't know. I really want to see more growth from it, though. Oh, I see some new. I also sunk it deeper. I can see some new roots growing down at the base, like reaching down into the palm. So that's good. I don't know. Like, wish me luck with this thing. I've never grown Magnificum, I don't think. I haven't, or anything with Magnificum in it. But it's been around for probably a couple years now, and I've never given it any special humidity. I think when I first got it, I babied it a little bit in the cabinet when I was still using the big cabinet downstairs. I might have babied it a little bit for a while, but no, not anymore. It's kind of like this other one. As soon as I can get it repotted, it's coming out of that cabinet. I don't, like I said, I don't want to grow anything in a cabinet permanently or even semi-permanently. Only the strong survive around here. If I can deal with the dry, crispy air, I need my plants to be able to, too. The veining on that is so pretty. Let me really shove it up here. Isn't it? It's lovely. It's green. It's green. Pretty. Okay, anyway, on to the next one. This Alocasia reginae. It does nothing. I'm looking to see if I see any new root growth, and I don't. I just transferred it. Oh yeah, I do actually. No, I don't. I got excited. I just transferred it to pawn not too long ago. So, and it looks rough. It looks rough. It does. It's cupping. It's saying, everything about it says I'm very, very thirsty with its dead/dying leaf. This one's still hanging in there somehow. It still feels good. This one, not so much. It's feeling a little thin. It's got a little crunchy here and there. And I know it's not easy, I think, for a lot of people to transfer things to pawn because they see their plant doing this and they go, oh crap, you know, I better do something to fix it. No, let it ride. Let it ride. Don't take my advice and kill your $500 Alocasia pink black velvet or whatever. I'm just saying, this is part of the process. This is part of the process. It's not my favorite part of the process. But I'm still confident that it's going to bounce back and it's going to be ready to go any day now. And I'll show you, actually, I'll show you one that I transferred to pawn that looked much worse than this a very short time ago. I think the last time it made any kind of appearance in my video, it was a corm with a dead yellow leaf hanging off of it. And that would be this Alocasia Okinawa Silver, because I was having a very hard time with it in soil. I've struggled with it off and on. I'm looking for new roots, because that's what I do. I hunt for roots. Roots. I don't see any yet. However, we have leaves. We have leaves. The first one it spit out was all white, and I was like, oh, well, that's not great. Can you see the little guy? But then this one came out. So that was better. And now we have this one. And it's got a little baby who also spit out an all white leaf, but then it spit out a mostly green one. It's got some variegation on it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just saying plants will often look like hell, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you've killed them. They're just adjusting. Or they might be dead. I don't know. I don't know. It can be tricky. I guess you watch the stump. That's all I can say is watch the corms, watch the stump, and look for new root growth. Or growth up top, because generally growth up top, you've usually got something good going on in the pot too, if you can see something above the pot. Oh, I'm gonna probably pull this baby out after it gets another leaf or two, because I really want to repot it again. I don't know why I left this much bare stump sticking up out of the pot. And I've done it with a couple of Alocasia when I was transferring them, and I don't know why. Because this is your best area to get those nice new roots for growing in semi-hydro. Is roots that have never been exposed to anything before. You know? Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't think that through. I think I was just, you know, slinging pawn in a hurry and trying to repot some stuff. But yeah, so this one's doing okay. I'm excited for even more new growth. This plant was lovely at one point. I promise it was, and it will be again. It will be again someday, perhaps. Do 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 do, da 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 da, doodle doo doo dee doo dee doo doo. And this plant here, it's becoming really a pain in my butt. It's rooted into the pole super, super well. Plenty of roots at the back. Look at this lovely, huge, gigantic, all green leaf. This is Florida Beauty. That's not what it's supposed to look like. The last variegated leaf I got on this plant would have been this one here. I don't know. Can you see up here? Oh, this one might have a little bit of variegation on it. This is a problem with this plant, though. I don't want a whole bunch of green. Oh, actually, that has a lot of variegation on it. I just couldn't tell. It's just started to harden off, and I guess Aurea variegation. But that's been problematic with this plant. Like this one here is all green as well. Oh no, there's variegation on the back of it. It's so weird. It's so weird. I just grew this after chopping it, didn't I? Was this the top cut? I don't know. I'm really considering chopping it again. Chopping it again. I don't know. I guess the variegation's not that bad. It's not terrible, right? I've seen less variegated Florida Beauties. This one started out less variegated. But look at the roots. Can you see them? Can you see the roots? There's plenty of them. Plenty of them in there. So I think it would be easy to get it restarted, get it going, get it re-going again. I can't speak. I'm just kind of frustrated with it. I really do love it when it's behaving, though. I see plenty of variegation in the stem. I just don't know why it's being weird now. And I'm noticing the leaves that have no or very little variegation are coming from the same side of the plant. And I don't think I've ever had a half moon on this, have I? No. The one downstairs, I think, does. I'm taking that to somebody tomorrow so she can fight with it. It's well rooted in the pot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's growing well. Do you think I should leave it alone or should I cut it? I know I need to extend the pole, or at least get some more moss in there for now, because this most recent node, there's nothing there in the pole for it to attach to. But it's done really well, right? Am I kidding myself? I don't think I am. But I don't know what to do. Do I cut it? Do I leave it alone? That's pretty though. That's a big leaf. That's a big leaf with a long petiole to match. But yeah, so that's how the Phlobe is doing. The next plant is this black pagoda lipstick plant, which is so thirsty. It looks ridiculous. I got this on the half-off rack at Lowe's or Home Depot, probably Lowe's, and it really looked like it had been eaten alive by something. Half the sticks were chewed back, half the stems were chewed back. A lot of the leaves were chewed in half, or definitely chewed on. I don't think it had any pesties. Pretty sure it didn't. But when I got it, I said, I've never had one of these flower. That's a lie. I don't know why, but I thought the flowers were red. They're green. They're green, and it has been flowering profusely. I just forgot, because the flowers just don't stick out. They're not showy at all. They're just kind of like incognito in there. But they're everywhere. They're hard to spot, because they just blend in. Like, there's more going to bloom there, there. There's some right there, sorry. They're everywhere. And this just hangs, oh look, free bird poop still on there from Lowe's. I have done nothing with it except for water it. It didn't need my help to rehab, is what I'm saying. It's done it all of its own accord, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. But to be fair, I am aware that I should probably just go ahead and take some cuttings of this plant and get it in some better soil and go from there. And I probably will. It hangs in a window, my hallway window, and I think it gets kind of like southwestish light. It gets very hot in that window, and it does not care. It doesn't care at all. And I appreciate that about this plant. I really think it looks nice with the new growth though. I really think it does. I'm amazed how well this plant did with no help from me at all. Isn't it pretty? Okay, I'm gonna give it some water and put it back. But yeah, I think it's done very well. And just before I sit back down, this is a random Calathea, Maranta, Calathea, I guess. And you can see it's got some new growth, but you can also see some really horrible nastiness back there. It's got weird damage, right? And I'm like, okay, this kind of looks like something's killing it, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, spider mites? What is it? No, it looks just like the mites that are on some Hoya. So I was absolutely horrified. New nightmare unlocked. It's been getting alcohol baths. Like every other day or so, I just kind of spritz it with some alcohol and let it sit in its own juices and dry. This was a rehab that I got from Lowe's. It was much bigger at one point, not so long ago. But it just kept kind of dying back. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I see no spider mites. What's your issue? There's mites on there, all right. They're just so tiny you can't see them. So, yeah, that's not been fun. But I'm going to get it together again. It's going to grow again soon. I mean, it is now a little bit. But yeah, it's been a challenge for sure. So yeah, who knew that they were delicious to so many different types of pests? Okay, the next couple are Hoya. This is Hoya Silver Dollar, which had root mealies and had completely quit growing. it already had this long, ridiculous tendril vine, but it just recently started growing from there. And it put out this whole new leaf, and then this new little vine. Like, finally, we're growing. I am so excited about it. I've been waiting forever for this thing to grow. So because of the root mealies, I think I had tried to get rid of them before on this, and it wasn't going well. I took it out of pond, because that's what I had it in. I'd repotted it a couple times, I think, from pond to pond. And the root mealies just would not quit. They just kept coming back after every couple months. It would grow a little bit, and then I'd see root mealies again, and it would stop growing. So I put it in soil with systemic, and that seems to have done the trick. And I see zero evidence of root mealies. It was, I don't know, a dozen Hoya, and it's been a chore to get rid of them. I don't know. But yay, we're growing. We're growing, and the new growth looks healthy. A little small, but you know, I'm hoping that the next ones here that are still growing do a little bit more for me. Maybe get a little bit bigger. Not that this one here at the bottom, not that that's bad. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. It grow. It do a grow finally. And then this is Hoya Wilburgraves. Can't remember which one. This one, once upon a time, had root mealies as well. It came from the same dozen plants that I'm talking about. And it's in a clear pot, so I can spy on it. I don't see anything but perlite. But it's probably due for a little bit more systemic anyway. Just to be on the safe side, I'll go one more round of systemic, so to speak. But I see new growth on it. It's been growing just fine. But it had failed to give me any silver. It was giving me all green growth. So I'd cut that. These 3 leaves here that are the most purple are new. The one leaf is a little bit misshapen, and I think I was giving it a bit more light than it would have liked to have. So yay, maybe I've got this one on track to do what it's supposed to do, to look how it's supposed to look. It is very pretty. Sorry, I'm trying not to dump it in the floor. The cat already did that for me with many plants this morning, including the new leaf on one of my Monstera aureus. Snapped it clean in half. Clean in half. But anyway, there was 2 of these. I think the other one is in the cabinet. Let's look at it while we're here. I was going to say, I think the other one's all green. And it might be. But this one here is doing well. Doing well. Okay, so this one was actually 2 cuttings. And this one shot out an all green leaf. The cutting on this side. I say all green. It's got some splash on it, but it's just not what it was supposed to be. And then this other cutting actually hasn't put out any new growth yet. It looks like it started. It looks like it started right up there. I don't know if you can see. And the leaves may have fallen off, so that's not great. The only thing I have to say for myself is that if you water plants, they grow better. This is dry. This is dry. Oops. Things dry quick in that cabinet. I think that might be the issue. I don't know. But if you look at these 2 leaves here, you'll see one is much more silver than the other. The new growth is trying to come from the side with the much more silver leaf. So when I get it growing, if it continues to grow from that side, I feel pretty confident that it will be more splashy. I think. Yes. So I'm going to water it, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and treat it too, just in case. I'll just spritz it with some alcohol. But yeah, that's the plan. So not much of an update on this one except for one all green leaf here. Maybe if I cut it again, I can get it to shoot out somewhere else, because I had thought it would come from in between the 2 that are below that, but instead it shot out the side. So that was unexpected. Oh, I have another one that's a victory. Flat mites. It was definitely flat mites. Let me show you that. I'm not going to set it on the table. It sits away all by itself. This is Nicholsonia New Guinea Ghost. And you can see the crustinesses on those leaves. That's not good crusty, that's bad crusty. So definitely flat mites, but this is new growth. This is new growth. This is new growth. This is new growth. And this is another one. It kind of sits in the windowsill, and there's more new growth up there. It's ridiculous. Try to block the stuff behind it. There we go. You can kind of see it. It sits getting way too much sun, but yeah, it sits off to itself, and I've sprayed it and sprayed it and sprayed it and sprayed it, and I will continue to spray it and spray it and spray it about every other day. I might go 3 or 4 days sometimes, but pretty consistently, because I'm trying to kill anything that might even look at this plant twice. This has been a journey. I will tell you more about it after I set it down. That plant, I had ordered it on Etsy, and I don't know, I'm not saying it came with anything. It definitely could have picked it up here or anywhere else. At first, it grew. It took off like crazy. It grew really well, and then it didn't. And I think I had gotten frustrated with it probably about 2 years ago now, I guess. And one of my friends came over, and she was doing some greenhouse plant shopping in my greenhouse. And she's like, you know, what can I have? I was like, you can have this, you can have this. And she'd pick something up and be like, do you have any cuttings of this? And that was one of them. And I was like, take the whole plant. And then I ended up getting it back last year around this time, I think. And it had root mealies. And somewhere in the period of time that I was trying to treat the root mealies, I found flat mites. That was later. So I'm not saying that they came from that person. They might have been on it when she took it from here. I don't know. But the root mealies were new. I was growing it in soil. She had put it in pond. And no, I never tried it back in soil. I just kept moving it in pond, systemics, everything else in the world, trying to get rid of these root mealies, which I'm not 100% sure are gone even now. But I'm probably going to let it, if it's going to continue to grow, we'll see. Let it grow a little bit more, because there's some tiny little plantlets. They came up from elsewhere under the pond, and I'm going to put it in systemic and continue to treat it for flat mites, because I'm fairly 100% certain that systemics do nothing for flat mites. Kind of like spider mites, they just laugh at it and go nice. But yeah, I was using this to treat for flat mites. I really don't anymore. I just don't love it. I just don't love it. It's not my favorite thing to work with. I have to mix it up, or I have to dust it on, or you know, whatever. It's a lot easier for me to just blast it every other day with alcohol or neem oil or Captain Jack's, or you know, whatever is the flavor of the day. So that's what I've been doing, and it does seem to be very effective on a variety of plants. So anyway, one more update that's not an update. We're going to speculate, because I like to speculate. This is the last plant I'm looking at today. This is the sport dragon scale that I acquired recently. And like I said, this is by far the best variegation on any leaf. This is the current newest leaf, and I don't even know if you can see, but there's a couple little just yellow speckles, just doop doop, like flecks, the tiniest flecks, and it's not over many. So like I said, this was the leaf before that. Nice variegation, but it's got a new leaf and it's gonna unfurl. I'll probably come out tomorrow morning and it'll be open. I can see some edema on it, which I don't love, right at the tip. Right at the tip. It was dry and I watered it. Oh, you can kind of see inside that leaf there. like the yellowish. I'm not sure if that's going to be variegated or if it's just the color of the plant. I want to rip it open and look. I'm not gonna, but I really wanna. I can't tell. I think it's going to be variegated. What's your bet? What's your bet? I really can't tell. Hold on, I'll hold it up here so you can speculate with me. So, can you see down in there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to fart around with it too much. I've been meaning to. I just watered this last night and it feels very dry. But we have edema, so I'm not sure. I've been wanting to get it into pawn, but I've been thinking that I might just let that new leaf unfurl first. I really like the contrast of the dark and then the light color on it. Yeah, it's interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's going to be some variegated anyway. A speckle here, a speckle there, maybe? Maybe this is going to be one of those plants that you only get a little every other leaf. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, after that leaf opens and hardens a little bit, I'll be, did I turn that off? Yeah. I'll be plopping her in some pawn. Does anybody remember this shirt from last year? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love it though. I love it so much. I don't know where my hats are. Somebody had mentioned that they liked my hats from last year. I don't know where they are. I had one that was Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I think I had a couple regular ones. And why does this light keep going off? I don't know. I'm in the dark now. It's fine. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I think next go around we're back to plant chores because there's never any shortage of them. Never any shortage. We'll probably play with some of the plants that I was mentioning in this video that I said I wanted to repot or do whatever to, or cut again or treat with systemic. I don't know. I'm going to go make some dinner and get this uploaded hopefully a little bit earlier than the last several. What time is it? It is 4:43. So maybe I'm going to go make dinner, then I'll come back and edit because I'm hungry. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.